Hello, Cryptoland. I'm Justin. It's August, and this is the ARK.io monthly update for July 2020. Well, if you're following along with the monthly update on our blog at blog.ark.io, welcome. If you are listening to this monthly update on the ARK Crypto podcast at podcast.ark.io, what's up? And if you are watching this monthly update on our YouTube channel at youtube.ark.io, hi. You can get more blog articles by following us on Twitter at ARK Ecosystem. You can get more podcasts by subscribing to the ARK Crypto podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And you can get more update videos and special videos by subscribing to our YouTube channel, hitting the bell, and setting the notifications to all. Then you'll get notified of new videos like this and also other videos that are really cool. The ARK.io monthly update covers all of ARK's achievements and accomplishments for a given month, as well as news pertaining to the overall ARK ecosystem as well. Now, with all the formalities out of the way, let us start off with this monthly update. What's that quote from The Matrix Reloaded? This is not the first time I've done this, and I'm getting increasingly efficient at it. All right, well, let's start it off with remarks here. We've got remarks, which is basically like a summarized statement that kind of encompasses our activities for the month, and it's like a soundbite, I guess you could say. So my remarks for July are the following. In July, the main vision for ARK came further into focus as we released more details and content to the community. We are continuing to follow our white paper and working to make the ARK blockchain platform a home base for the crypto and blockchain industry. We showed this with our major release for July, Platform SDK, a singular toolkit for developers to interact with 10 plus blockchain projects, not just the ARK public network. We also published a roundtable video discussing MarketSquare, the new homepage for the decentralized web. This month, ARK was listed on the KaiserX exchange as well, and we added a new full-stack developer to the team, Edgar Getzendorf, better known as his username Dated. The master plan for ARK made major headway in July. And yes, that it did. Well, let's talk about some of this headway with the roadmap progress update. So let's go into some details for July with updates and stuff. We've got this one, ARK Magistrate 2.0 and AIP 36. So there is a Magistrate 2.0 module on the ARK roadmap. This Magistrate, aka AIP 36, is designed to allow special IPFS transaction types to exist on the ARK public network. These transaction types are needed for the core functions of MarketSquare, the new homepage for the decentralized web. With MarketSquare, users can register and update properties, such as delegates and businesses. MarketSquare would then give them profile pages where descriptions can be displayed, reviews can be authored and responded to, and team members can be linked. This would all be enabled by Magistrate 2.0 under the hood, with data pulled from the ARK public network. The Magistrate is required for the MarketSquare public beta launch during Q4 2020. AIP 36 is now mostly integrated into the ARK Core. So next up we have, of course, MarketSquare.io. This is the big new product in the works and coming soon at the end of the year, towards the end of the year. Sorry about that. MarketSquare is a platform designed to be a showcase and meeting place for delegates, blockchains, plugins, and businesses in the economy 2.0. During July, we published an article exploring MarketSquare's features, and we released a roundtable video that unveiled a lot of details about the platform as we near the public beta launch. This video addresses community questions such as, will there be an MSQ crypto asset? Can users use MarketSquare for content about coins besides ARK? Will MarketSquare use the ARK public network and how? And many more. Now, at this time, MarketSquare is a functional platform that has been tested by alpha testers outside of the ARK team. With the main design and development completed, we are now implementing the final features suggested by initial testers and squashing the final minor bugs to make MarketSquare as robust as possible. Users can join the public beta mailing list to be alerted when MarketSquare goes live during Q4 of this year. You can read the announcement blog article from MarketSquare linked in monthly update, and the roundtable video is also linked. We'll touch on that further on this update. And then also there's a secondary article about MarketSquare that was released during July that explored the features, and that article is also linked, as well as the link to join the public beta mailing list, which is simply marketsquare.io. It's not difficult to find. You can go there and get on the mailing list, and then you can be alerted about like MarketSquare stuff. So go ahead and do that if you have not yet. So next up, we are talking about ARK deployer upgrades. We have been behind the scenes improving the process of creating a customized blockchain ever since the alpha version of the ARK deployer went public last year. In this new version, users will be presented with a far improved web-based graphical user interface. One-click deployment is also possible with this upcoming version. The new ARK deployer will support multiple hosting providers, as well as provide users with the flexibility to easily deploy servers and entire networks with a few simple steps. Now, I know that most of this is recycled verbiage from the last monthly update, but that definitely does not mean that work has not been done on deployer since then. Of course, a lot of work is getting done on multiple products at the same time, but the communication strategy is very specific, so I just need you to keep that in mind for now. So also, we have additional upgrades and improvements. Without leaking too many intimate details, you should know that the ARK team is also improving and enhancing other products, services, and projects in order to make the user experiences gel together. The goal is to create a more cohesive experience now that the ARK deployer and Market Square will act as the bones for building a thriving ecosystem. Keep in mind those products present an elevated user experience and vision for ARK, and thus improvements are underway to bring the other projects and products up to speed with them. More details on this will be released in due time, but we can definitely say we are talking about more than just a fresh coat of paint. Stay tuned on all channels. Now, these are just a few highlighted items from the roadmap. You can view all items and status at roadmap.ark.io, also linked in monthly update. So moving right on down to the top tweet for July. This is the tweet that was tweeted by ARK's Twitter account at ARK Ecosystem, and this is the tweet that got the most likes for July. Naturally, with the big news of July being the release of Platform SDK, which is a new industry standard to assist developers in integrating all of the industry's different coins and platforms, it stands to reason that this is the top tweet in July. So nice job, tweet. You out-tweeted all the other tweets. All right, so let's move right on down into exchange news for July 2020. ARK is available on over 30 exchanges, and there are more exchanges being added all the time. Now, for a full list, you can visit ark.io/exchanges. Now, keep in mind, content created by ark.io is not investment advice nor a solicitation of investment. Consult your financial advisor. Also, there are additional legal details at the end of this monthly update that you will be able to listen to if you are listening to this or watching this on YouTube. So in July, ARK was listed on KaiserX Exchange. This month, we are very excited to announce that ARK has been added to KaiserX, a crypto exchange and OTC desk. The listing includes 13 pairs, including fiat. According to their website, KaiserX has built their trading infrastructure with 30-plus cryptocurrency exchanges and multiple OTC connections. Now, you can learn more about KaiserX at their website, linked in monthly update. Cruising right along into the team news for July. Great news for July, good news for July, a new hire for July, and well-known within the ARK community as well. So lots of roof raising going on around here these days. Now, ARK was founded by an elite team of blockchain experts and enthusiasts from around the globe. Now, with more than 30 core team members from 12 different countries, we take decentralization to a whole new level. So in July, Edgar Getzendorf was hired as full stack developer. Edgar will first and foremost help with the development of the next generation of desktop wallet that is coming out later this year, but he is versatile and will jump around on other products as needed. As our roadmap for this year is packed with new and upcoming products and services, such as Market Square, Deployer, Desktop Wallet version 3, Mobile Wallet version 2, Core version 3, and Platform SDK, we needed more developers who write solid code, have a proven track record of being reliable, and are familiar with ARK and all of its mechanics. Now, who better knows that than our all-star participant and winner of our GitHub Development Bounty program multiple times over, Edgar Getzendorf. You may know Edgar better under his username, Dated. There's that aha moment, I'm sure. Now, when asked about how he learned about ARK, actually, I found out about ARK through one of its early bridge chains. Only after submitting some bug fixes for the then available Commander, that was the early interface, which is a text-based interface for interacting with relay nodes and delegate nodes. But Commander since retired, so that activity within the node is now handled by Core CLI. That is what Edgar is talking about here in this quote. So let's backtrack a bit. Only after submitting some bug fixes for the then available Commander on GitHub and unexpectedly receiving my first bounty, I joined the ARK Slack and was instantly hooked by the warm and welcoming community, which ultimately allowed me to become a forging delegate. Well, welcome to the ARK family, Edgar. We wish you the best in continuing to do the great work we have seen from your long tenancy in the Development Bounty program. Now, you can learn more about Edgar in his full hiring article, which is linked in monthly update. So, we have moved on now to the ARK Technology Usage section. The ARK Core framework is an open source toolbox that developers can utilize to power various use cases using blockchain technology. The well-documented technology stack, coupled with easy blockchain creation tools, such as the ARK Deployer, makes it simple for developers to dive into this emerging technology. Now, first up, news for July, we have NOS project building with ARK Core. Now, technically, this news released on August 1st, but it's important to include here to make the overall community aware as soon as possible. Now, recently, NOS unveiled a rebrand for their network, formerly NOS Network. Now, the network is called Compendia, with the premise of acting as the Wikipedia of databases for your API. Compendia allows developers to connect their app to free open databases. The Compendia rebrand means a new website for the network, new documentation and video tutorials, as well as a rebrand of the NOS asset, which is called NOS, will be rebranded to Bind, or B-I-N-D. NOS.io will continue to exist as a multi-crypto wallet app and will use the crypto apps databases on Compendia to populate its app store. Compendia is expected to celebrate a public network launch this summer, and the ARK blog published a full-featured update on NOS in early July, you should know. That is linked in Monthly Update, and the rebrand article is also linked in Monthly Update, which has further links inside of it that tell you more about what's going on with Compendia. So next up, we have Unique Name Connect plugin listed in WordPress repository. So Unique Name is another project building with ARK Core. Unique Name aims to put the ownership and control of user data back into the hands of users through decentralized identities powered by ARK Core. Now, during July, the Unique Name Connect plugin became available for free on the official WordPress plugins repository. Web developers can now offer Unique Name Connect as an alternative to log into web services. And then there's a tweet below that describes what I just said. Nice job, Unique Name, and keep doing the great work. You can see the tweet linked in Monthly Update. Now, as a smaller piece of news, earlier this year, a proof of concept was funded by ARK Grants called ARK Messenger. And during July, a video featuring a walkthrough went live to give the news a presence on our YouTube channel. And you can watch that linked in Monthly Update. I wanted to include that in the ARK Technology Usage section because it is using ARK technology. And funded by ARK Grants, and ARK Grants is going strong, backed by $1 million ARK seed funding, and any developer can apply for a grant at grants.ark.io. I'm going to plug that again before this update's done. Don't you worry. So let's move right into the ARK Wallet updates. All right, we do have an update for the desktop wallet. So the ARK desktop and mobile wallets are highly secure. The desktop wallet even integrates with Ledger Nano hardware wallet devices. They are extremely easy to use and launch instantly with no need to sync. Plus, with the ARK public network having 8-second block times, you can even see your transactions occur in near real time. Whether you're checking your balance, sending and receiving funds, or voting for your preferred delegate, ARK wallets make it as easy as possible. So during July, we had an update come out for the desktop wallet. This is desktop wallet version 2.9.3 with user experience improvements. Now, this release included a further improvement to the single multiple transfer UI merge that first came about in 2.9.2. Now, also some further improvements to other features that were implemented in 2.9.2 were implemented. So let's look at what's new at a glance. So as I mentioned earlier, we have the improved single or multi-transfer UI merge. So we improved the flow to have an option to easily switch between single or multi-transfers. What I'm talking about is that when you're in the wallet, you can send a transaction to a single recipient. Everybody knows about this. It's called a transfer. There's your wallet address. You send ARK to somebody else's wallet address. Now, as of Core 2.6, there is multi-payments, now renamed to multi-transfers. These multi-transfers allow you to create a transaction with multiple recipients receiving either the same or unique quantities of ARK on the ARK public network. Now, the user experience for this has been joined into one screen because they used to be on separate screens, but there was a bit of a speed bump with this merging, so we cleaned it up in 2.9.3. That's what this is referring to. So also, we improved the no connectivity alert. Now, when installing a fresh version of the ARK Desktop Wallet 2.9.2, which is the previous version, without any prior installs of it, it got stuck at the initialization screen. Now, this has now been fixed and fresh wallet installs work normally, so no more stuck at the loading screen. And then also in 2.9.3, fixed the ARK URI scheme. Now, the URI scheme is referring to the pre-filling of data. So if you're in a website, you can click a special link and then it launches the ARK desktop wallet and pre-fills in the details that you don't need to, fill it in yourself to do a transaction. That scheme has been improved and fixed to work better. So I wanted you to know that about 2.9.3. Now, there's an article referring to this upgrade linked in monthly update. There's also, as a fresh twist, a video as well that we released on the YouTube channel that shows you like step-by-step what it was and what it is now. So you can check that video on YouTube or linked in monthly update. Now, the ARK mobile wallet current version is 1.8.1, and you can download it for Android and iOS. Okay, we are moving straight into the ARK Core news now. ARK Core is a lightweight but very powerful code base that functions as the base component of the entire ARK ecosystem. Developed in Typescript, the ARK Core's modular architecture empowers developers to modify, configure, or extend all aspects of the code base with ease. So we have new ARK Core version releases during July. This is taken from the development report, which also comes out monthly on blog.ark.io. Now on Wednesday, July 22nd, Core version 2.6.49 went public. You can learn more about ARK Core from the announcement blog article linked in monthly update, and there's also a 6-part Let's Explore Core series written by ARK's current CTO, Brian Faust, with part 1 infrastructure, and you can start reading that series linked in monthly update. So I did mention the development report earlier. Let's discuss it a little bit further in this section. Now, the ARK monthly development report covers public releases among ARK open source projects, all pull requests open, closed, and merged, all issues opened and closed in every ARK ecosystem repo, the number of contributors during that month, the number of new stargazers, as well as the total lines of GitHub code added or deleted. The report has intricate links to GitHub repos, events, and releases. We'd like to extend a huge thanks to all of our contributors. Now, you can see the full development report linked in monthly update, and as a developer, it's really cool to follow along and see all the activity and progress with the ARK blockchain platform and the ARK Core framework. So let's move into the network statistics report now. Now this report, it summarizes network activity on the ARK public network for the recent month. And this is exclusive to the ARK monthly update. We like to have some unique content on this update so that even if you're glued to all the ARK news, and we extend a huge thanks to you for doing that, there's still new stuff to experience. Now you can check out the full network statistics report. It's like littered with variables. You can do that in the blog. It's linked in podcast show notes. It's linked in YouTube description. All of your favorite stats are here. So let's move next into the France activities section. ARK.io is incorporated as an SCIC in France as ARK Ecosystem SCIC, giving us a leg up when interfacing with the legacy financial system. This SCIC is the first of its kind for crypto in France. The business entity is also a founding member of ADAN, an association of blockchain technology companies designed to further the mission of the technology in France and the European Union. Now, on July 24th, ARK Ecosystem SCIC President FX Thorens was quoted in an article mentioning how cryptocurrencies are resistant to censorship. It was a French article, and there's a tweet below mentioning this activity in the monthly update. Now, but also, earlier that month, Fix did a 15-minute interview with France Eclat TV, a broadcast channel dedicated to jewelry. Thorens explained cryptocurrencies and ARK, and how everyone can use it. The use case of certifying jewelry on-chain was also discussed. He also related it to BC Diploma using ARK technology to certify documents such as diplomas on-chain using ARK Education. And there's also a tweet referencing this activity below with a photo of Fix behind the scenes. Pretty cool. So let's move into the ARK Timeline section now. So this is like a miscellaneous section that covers anything that might not be specifically referenced in other parts of the monthly update. Now, this section is made easier to provide to you by way of arktimeline.com, which is a community resource built and maintained by the ARK Community Committee, which I manage. The entire history of all ARK achievements and accomplishments are available there, and they are both sortable and filterable. Now, here's a quick rundown for this past month, excluding events mentioned elsewhere in this update article. So, on July 8th, ARK.io published an article that dissects the tools used to create the ARK blockchain platform titled Behind the Curtains, ARK Tooling. This article lays out the reasoning behind using various frameworks such as Laravel, Livewire, and Pest on the back end, and Tailwind CSS and React on the front end. More technologies and details are discussed, and you can read the full article linked in monthly update. Now on July 9th, the next day, ARK.io published a general article titled How Blockchain Technology Can Improve Policing and Public Safety. This article is part 2 of a series addressing how blockchain technology can solve legal disputes. The article covers issues such as chain of custody, blockchain strengthening procedures, and how blockchain technology can reverse negative trends. Read the full article linked in Monthly Update. So then, on July 11th and July 22nd, in a double move, ARK.io made announcements and gave further details on its July launch of Platform SDK, which modernizes interactions with various blockchain networks. The SDK acts as an all-in-one developer toolbox, which simplifies the process for developers to interact with 10-plus blockchain networks, not just the ARK public network. You can read both of the articles linked in Monthly Update. Then, on July 16th, ARK.io published a general article titled New Anti-Encryption Bill, the Largest Threat to Our Privacy Today. This article addresses a U.S. bill in progress that would require potentially insecure backdoors to be built into encrypted systems. That doesn't sound like super wise, but read the full article linked in Monthly Update. Then later, on July 29th, ARK.io published a general article on blockchain as the future of supply chain management. The article goes into specific detail on how blockchain technology can improve supply chain management. The article goes on to give a state of the union on blockchain technology already being used in the industry. The article shows how technology and the supply chain industry are a perfect match, and you can read the full article linked in Monthly Update. Then, on July 30th, ARK tweeted about an upcoming virtual workshop hosted by ARK.io partner Major League Hacking. The workshop showcases ARK technology used to build a blockchain taco shop. August 5th is the date of the event, with details in Monthly Update, and tweet was tweeted. So that's it. All other events and activities are listed elsewhere, and we're all caught up. You can see years of achievements for ARK at arktimeline.com. You can see what the future holds for ARK at roadmap.ark.io, and you can subscribe for real-time news at twitter.ark.io or at ARK Ecosystem. All right, so now we're going into the video section. Now check this out, yo. We got way more videos in July than previous months, so that's a great thing. And I think video is a great medium to learn about blockchain technology. So this pleases me that there's more content out there pertaining to ARK. So ARK has a growing YouTube channel that features technical discussions and updates, motion graphic explainers, community videos, tutorials, crypto adventure vlogs, and more. Watch our videos at youtube.ark.io and subscribe to our channel in one click using this special link linked in Monthly Update. So the first video I want to tell you about is the June 2020 Monthly Update video. If you missed that from last month, you can check that out on the YouTube channel, or it's linked to Monthly Update. And then also in July, this was a really cool one. And if you have not seen this yet, this is one of the main reasons why you're listening to this update or watching this update, is for cool things that you missed. And if you missed this, you need to go experience this video because it gives you so much valuable information about Market Square, the new homepage for the decentralized web. So in this video, multiple ARK team members, myself included, gathered via Google Meet in order to talk about Market Square and answer community questions, where there are many questions about it. And you already know about this from the roadmap update section, but there's a video and it's embedded here. Now also, as I mentioned earlier in Monthly Update, 2.9.3 desktop wallet walkthrough video exists. And you can check that out and watch that in Monthly Update or on YouTube. So also, we have ARK Technology in action. This is the ARK Scooters proof of concept technical demo video. This is an exploration of real-world applications for ARK Technology. ARK Scooters is a proof of concept funded by ARK Grants, and you can watch the new video that came out for July in Monthly Update or on YouTube. And then also in that same vein, we have another video that showcases ARK Technology in action, and that is the ARK Messenger proof of concept demo video. So we published a video this month about ARK Messenger, which was a project that was completed earlier this year, but we wanted to include an in-depth user demo and walkthrough for our YouTube channel, and also help to build awareness about ARK Grants. So you can watch that video linked in Monthly Update or on YouTube. So yeah, that was a mouthful for the video section, but that's a great sign because it means more content is getting out there. Speaking of more content getting out there, the podcast has been churning along as per normal, and let's see what topics were discussed on the podcast during July. Now, the ARK Crypto Podcast releases weekly episodes all about ARK, featuring interviews, monologues, tutorials, reports, presentations, and more. The show aims for a 30-minute runtime and releases new episodes every Friday. Details, external links, and show notes are available at podcast.ark.io. So this month for July, we have, starting off, the June Update podcast. If you missed that, you can check that out for June. Also, we have the syndication of the Market Square video. The ARK team gathered and talked all about Market Square for a long time, and we syndicated that on the podcast as well. However, there is some fresh content on the podcast this month too. We have episode 84, which is reacting to ARK descriptions on crypto directory websites such as CoinMarketCap, Live CoinWatch, Nomics, etc. Now, this was a two-part episode, and I really like this episode because it actually holds a mirror up to the larger crypto community so that we can see how ARK is described outside of our official communication channels, such as this YouTube channel, this blog, this podcast. And then I get to react to that and maybe correct any inaccuracies or dispel any myths, or even just dive deeper into the concepts that are discussed. So if you're feeling like learning about ARK on a deeper level, as well as even exploring some history about how ARK came together, you can do that in this two-part series that was released on the podcast. But then also, we continued another series. This is the ARK Core Values Deep Dive. And this month, we covered support. Now, ARK has 6 core values. They all start with S. That's more or less a coincidence, but this month was support, and this is the 5th of the series. So the last one we need to do is security, but simplicity and speed and scalability and sovereignty are all completed and on the podcast in the archives, and now support as well. So you can check out that podcast in Monthly Update. Okay, next up, we are moving into the Community Service Spotlight. Now, some members mentioned in the Community Service Spotlight are ARK delegates who secure the ARK public network and provide community services. Their inclusion here is in no way an endorsement from ARK.io to vote for any specific delegates, and you should always do your own research and consider all the options when voting for a delegate. ARK.io does not run the ARK public network. So just real quick running through the Community Service Spotlight for this month, we have Delegate Fun, who continued to run ARK games online with daily ARK prizes. Delegates Biz Classic and Dell ran ARK Faucets, linked in Monthly Update. Delegate Alessio reported and located vulnerabilities. Delegates Goose and ARKMoon continued their service ARK CSV generator and income estimator to aid in trading and income reporting, not tax advice. Also, Delegate Jarnik ran a general bounty service. You can get involved, linked in Monthly Update. Delegate Cryptology continued operating the ARK Tipper Tipbot. I just used ARK Tipper to pay out the ARK Community Committee for a recent project that was completed during July. You'll hear more about that in that section. And then also Delegate Yakety Yak released German ARK podcast. Awesome. Love it. Delegate Rising Sun continued to run a treasure loot program. Delegate Deadlock continued maintaining ARKstats.live. And Delegate Lemmy continued maintaining ARKrelay.com. And Crypto MC continued to run Arkifier Delegate Email Alert Service. Now also, in addition to those, we have Delegate Mac, who released an alpha version of ARK Place funded by the ACF. This is kind of like Satoshi's Place, where you go to a website and then you purchase the ability to paint pixels the color of your choice. And people would do like doodles or little messages or symbols. It's kind of like a cool little thing, and it's running on blockchain technology, which is even cooler. Now, also, we have Delegate Arktoshi launching a campaign for forging status, listing community services linked in Monthly Update. It's not in the Monthly Update, but it's linked to a Reddit post, which details Arktoshi's campaign and community services. And I believe Arktoshi did achieve forging status before this even came out. So congrats. And also, anybody who wants to be featured in the Community Service Spotlight, all you have to do is run a cool service for the community. You do not have to be a delegate. And then you need to announce on Reddit, and I crawl all the Reddit posts, and then this is how this is created. Now, last up in the Community Service Spotlight, we have Delegate Echo. Delegate Echo launched a new community service, ARK Folding at Home, awarding ARK for CPU, GPU usage that aids in fighting COVID-19. Folding at Home is a distributed computing project for simulating protein dynamics. Delegate Echo is awarding ARK to participants of Folding at Home. So this is all great stuff, just all around, but that's not an endorsement. To vote. All right, let's move into the notable Reddit post for July. Yes. So as I mentioned earlier with the ARK Ecosystem subreddit, it is a great place to seek ARK knowledge, and you can always find new and engaging content there. If you're new to ARK, check out my Welcome to ARK Reddit post, linked in Monthly Update, with simple instructions to follow. So some notable posts for July, a lot of technical posts. This is where a lot of people come to get help, and they get help quickly, which is great. So there's a tech help question about creating a transaction, an issue with desktop wallet stuck in initializing, which was fixed in 2.9.3. There's a query about a problem sending ARK, a question about ARK token issuance standard, a problem with being unable to unvote, and an issue restoring a balance within the desktop wallet. Now you can browse more content and contribute your own voice to the ARK subreddit at reddit.ark.io. You may even receive an ARK tip from a community member using Delegate Cryptology's intuitive ARK Tipper Reddit tip bot, which also works on Twitter. So moving into the AMA section, Ask Me Anythings are periodically conducted where ARK team members answer questions by community members and developers, as well as third-party organizations taking questions from the community as well. Now, during July, there was a type of AMA, although not in the traditional sense. The traditional ARK AMAs are conducted periodically on the ARK Slack at slack.ark.io, but for July, it was like a little bit differently done. We did the video about Market Square that you already heard about like twice. Now, those were community questions that were submitted, and we answered those in video form, and multiple people were answering questions, and you can watch the video. You already know where, youtube.ark.io. If you want to be alerted for future AMAs and also future opportunities to ask questions, you'll want to follow ARK on Twitter at ARK Ecosystem, and then you'll also want to probably pre-join the ARK Slack at slack.ark.io so you don't miss any future AMAs with the ARK team. All right, so next up, we're moving into the Bounty and Security Program. ARK runs monthly bounty programs for coders who contribute to our code base on the ARK Ecosystem GitHub. Independent programmers can work side by side with our international team and make the ARK Toolkit even more powerful and stable. So you can get started earning ARK bounties by going to bounty.ark.io. It's also linked to monthly update. And then if you want to report an issue with, using our products or projects, or if you want to suggest a feature and you're not a coder, there's a video with step-by-step tutorials you can follow, linked to monthly update. Now you may notice the Bounty and Security Program activity is thinning out a bit. Of course, security vulnerabilities are still reported and patched and awarded, but let me tell you 2 reasons why that's kind of happening. So one is there's like a major overhaul of pretty much every ARK peripheral and project and product and everything happening right now. So what's going on is the ARK team is working heavily on the code and improvements and collaborating with each other and doing these things to put the design into motion and bring life into the products to give them the full overhauls and blah, blah, blah. And then during this time, it's not as effective to have open source third-party developers contributing to the current open source code base because designs are getting like literally ripped up and resewn right now and improved upon. And so when that happens and when that's like everything's fully launched with all the products and stuff, then it'll be like, okay, let's turn back on the contributions and the get the gears going on the bounty program so that when developers are working on our code base, they're doing like valuable work that makes a difference and has an impact on our new family of projects and products. Yeah, I know it was like a little bit rambly, but I mean, that's just literally what's going on. And you should know why it's been thinning out. I mean, the other reason why the Bounty and Security Program is thinning out is because we keep hiring people who try to do bounties. So people will come and be like, yeah, I'm interested. This looks cool. Let me submit some bounties. One thing leads to another, consistent work, great performance doing these bounties. Then all of a sudden it's like, boom, like now they're on the team. So yeah, I guess it's working as intended. I mean, many developers who are on the current team started out doing the Bounty and Security Program. So this is great stuff. So I would say just like stay tuned and keep it chill, stay relaxed, and keep your ears out there for further updates and news for more like open source contributions that will be happening. And of course, the code for all the appropriate projects will be made public. Like, for example, Core v3 code was made public and blah, blah, blah. But that's like a small nutshell news update on Bounty and Security Program. So next up, let's go into the ARK Grants program. Now, ARK Grants launched a 1 million ARK fund. ARK has always placed a large focus on our community of developers. From our development and security bounties to our previous Tier 0 program, we have a wide range of opportunities for developers to get involved in the community and get paid to contribute to ARK. The ARK Grants program is an expansion and refinement of our current offerings, providing a war chest of funds to show our dedication to our community and the ARK ecosystem. Now, technologies and frameworks, applicable project types, and proposal submission process can be found in the ARK Grants launch article linked to monthly update, and there's also a video about ARK Grants on our YouTube channel. Now, for July, I did mention this earlier. I'm mentioning it here again just in case people are skipping around this video or this podcast. As a smaller piece of news, earlier this year, a proof of concept was funded by ARK Grants called ARK Messenger. A video featuring a walkthrough went live during July to give the news a presence on YouTube, and you can watch it on YouTube or link to monthly update. Okay, we're going straight into the ARK Community Committee section. There's definitely new stuff to report here. Now, the ARK Community Committee creates and deploys community resources through anonymous and sponsored ARK donations. Completed ACC projects include ARKtimeline.com, which is all of ARK's achievements and accomplishments in one place, searchable, filterable, and linkable by the query string. That's pretty cool. And then also ARKthoughts.com, community opinions on 30 ARK concepts, including the Core, Wallet Explorer, SmartBridge Technology, and Media channels. That was late 2018 opinions. And then also Crypto Trivia Night questions, which are trivia questions assembled for Crypto Trivia Night, which is its own YouTube channel, and a couple of really fun episodes if you want to check out those episodes on that other channel. It's linked in monthly update. So during this recent month, here's what's up. I have launched the next phase of Project Vidare, which is Project Vidare 3. Now, this project has doubled the size of the research results from Project Vidare 2. And I'm still processing this research. That's still ongoing, and more details will come to light when the project is complete. However, you can track activity on discord.ark.io #committee channel. Now, with this project, specifically, I'm trying to be as open and transparent as possible without shouting from the mountaintops what I'm doing. But it's not secret or privileged information between myself and the committee. We do openly discuss these projects on Discord, and people who want to see what we're doing can do that on Discord. But I can let you know this, as this project nears its completion, with everything getting set, and with the current ARK roadmap reaching that critical point and milestone, then more details will be made obvious in updates such as this. So fret not, but the research is there if you want to DYOR. Okay, so very cool. Thanks for sticking with me this far. We're going to talk about the ARK Community Fund. There's something new for July here. Now, the ARK Community Fund is the community version of ARK Grants, and it's not managed by ARK.io. If you have an idea for an ARK project, large or small, and you are looking for funding, consider submitting a proposal to the ARK Community Fund for review. The ARK Community Fund started as a community initiative, and the elected board reviews ideas and projects that enhance ARK. Their website is arkcommunity.fund. Now, during July, the ARK Community Fund posted an update that you can read, linked in monthly update. It links to a Reddit announcement from the ACF, and you can check that out. Now, the ACF occasionally runs giveaways on the ARK Community Fund channel of slack.ark.io. You should know. You can join Slack and check out the chatter in the ACF channel if you like. So we've talked about July. We've talked about what's going on. We've made it to this section about what is next. Okay, what is coming for ARK.io and the overall ARK ecosystem? Well, Market Square, if you didn't know, which you should by now, especially since we've been talking about it nonstop since we made the initial announcement on the blog, Market Square is getting closer and closer to its public beta launch during Q4 2020. And users can get access by visiting marketsquare.io to join the public beta mailing list. You should join this list, yo. If you're not in this public beta mailing list, then you can't be alerted about Market Square doing really cool stuff like going live or releasing details prior to launch or doing these other things. Okay, you can't just be relying on all these channels. We might be starting to put out content just to people who are signed up, all right? Now that means you will not know about certain information unless you're signed up to this very public mailing list, and all you have to do is go to marketsquare.io and put in an email address. It doesn't have to be your main email address. It can be the email address that you use when you sign up to random services or newsletters, and then you'll just have access to that information once that starts coming out, all right? That is me telling you right now, it's on the record. Here's the thing about Market Square and everything that's going into it. We've got Magistrate 2.0, which is also known as AIP 36. That is going to be a main focus for the very near term because its custom transaction types power the underlying Market Square platform data. Now also, prior to the Market Square public beta launch, ARK delegates and some other users will get access to the platform to start to provide data and content so that when it like launches public beta, then there will be like content on it. You know what I'm saying? Content already on it. So that is coming very near future. Also, we have already been implementing feedback from external testers, and we are starting to run the final laps for other peripherals such as the ARK Deployer and ARK Desktop Wallet. Now, something interesting to note as our team has been moving through summer is that there has been a lot of accelerated development for multiple products across multiple departments compared to normal. So the ARK blockchain platform is receiving a major overhaul to create a singular presentation and user experience across the entire platform. This will set the basis for like years to come for ARK ecosystem, its experience, its connections that it makes with the overall crypto community and future partners. Like this is like the thing. All right. Now stay tuned on all channels for updates. That's what's coming. That's what's next. So you made it all this way. Why not tell me what you think? I'm super interested to know what people think about ARK, what we're doing, what we're releasing, what we're building. I mean, this is all about community, you know, and a part of this is making sure that we hear you and that we have your opinions so that we can know what they are. How do we get those opinions from you? There's a feedback survey. It takes 3 minutes to do. Just go to the link, linked in monthly update, and then fill out this survey, and then it goes directly to me. It's also permanently filed in my database of feedback. And it gives me information about what the community thinks and what's going on. So do it up, yo. By the time you finish listening to this section, you probably could have already filled it out. So let's move into the last section. You made it. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to me, especially because I'm getting a little bit thirsty and parched and I need a glass of water. But let us talk about how to get involved with the ARK ecosystem. Many ways to do it. And also, there's a fit for everybody in the ARK community. Here's a quick list of what your first steps might be to get involved with ARK. You can join our community on Slack or Reddit, all right? Slack.ark.io, Reddit.ark.io. You can launch an ARK community service. You can contribute code and earn ARK. You can apply for an ARK grant to fund your idea. You can learn more about ARK code with ARK documentation. You can also launch an ARK node and campaign for forging status. And of course, you can create a blockchain in 3 simple steps using the ARK Deployer. All of these links for all of the ways that you can get involved with the ARK community and the ARK ecosystem are linked in monthly update. So we're looking forward to August. Stay safe out there. Thank you for experiencing this update and participating in the ARK ecosystem. We appreciate your support. And if you have any comments about this monthly update, please let me know on YouTube in the comments or on Reddit in the post that says, hey, the monthly update's out, and we'll see you next time.
The purpose of this podcast is to educate and inform the listeners. The host is not a financial advisor, and this podcast is not financial advice. Listeners are encouraged to conduct their own research prior to making any investments. Guests who speak in this podcast express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions, and do not represent the beliefs or ideas of ARK.io or the ARK Crypto Podcast. A guest appearance on this podcast assumes no partnership or pending partnership with ARK.io or any associated entity. A guest appearance is by no means an endorsement or solicitation by the ARK Crypto Podcast to purchase a specific cryptocurrency at a specific time or at all. The ARK Crypto Podcast will never solicit any investment from the listener, nor will it ever contact the listener to solicit an investment. Any paid advertisements on the ARK Crypto Podcast will be clearly disclosed as such. This podcast is available for private, non-commercial use only. Advertising which is incorporated into, placed in association with, or targeted towards the content of this podcast is forbidden. You may not edit, modify, or redistribute this podcast. The ARK Crypto Podcast assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with this podcast or for your use of this podcast in connection with your website, computer, or playing device.